Annyeonghaseyo, mate.
Hey guys, Straya in Korea here, and today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about things to plan for or expect when coming to Korea. In Korea, it's a little bit uncomfortable, the personal space that people generally give you, whether it be on the subway or walking around, standing in a line. It's that gap that people generally give each other for that personal space area doesn't seem to exist, and people will push right up against you, and especially something I've experienced very uncomfortable is the urinals in the toilets. Sometimes that kind of unspoken rule of like personal space, don't stand next to each other, it does not exist at all, and that's something that I suppose when you come to Korea you're gonna experience. No matter how much you complain, you're gonna have to get used to it. The second one would be to plan for diarrhea, or salsa as the word is in Korea. Now, no one can really know exactly how your body's going to react when you travel overseas, try different foods, different air, different experiences. I know from personal experience that myself and people that have traveled with me, there's definitely about a 50-50 ratio of people that experience this issue. So you don't want, like, the worst thing that you can have is, especially if you're just traveling, not living, having a portion of your holiday ruined by having to stay at home from either embarrassment or just being uncomfortable and unable to travel out. So definitely either, you know, like stock up on whether it be from English, like, you know, your own country's medication, or if you know how to order or write down that I need diarrhea medicine, and get it when you arrive in Korea, because trust me, like, better safe than sorry buying it before the situation happens and having it ready there to go. The next one, I suppose, to expect would be the temperature changes in Korea. Now, Korea's weather goes anything from like really humid 30 degrees all the way down to minus 20 degrees in the winters. So the temperature can change quite often. So especially at the moment, we've just come out of winter, which I was completely unprepared when I first came to Korea. Coming from Australia, I had no idea really how cold it could get, and I've never owned like big winter jackets, I've never owned like scarves, beanies. I had to go and just buy a whole new wardrobe to complete, like, you know, to actually stay warm. Thermals, I was wearing so many layers. Now, the flip of that, now going into summer, Korean seasons are weird. Like, their autumn and spring is like sometimes as short as a week, and then you've already jumped into either summer or winter. So during the summer season, it gets really, really humid and really hot. So I think something that, for me, I don't actually stink a lot, but I do sweat a lot. So as far as antiperspirants go, definitely like your sprays or your roll-ons. I like to carry around an actual towel in my bag. I don't know, maybe it's disgusting to some people, but I find it good to wipe off occasionally and just get rid of that sweat, because it's just, oh, it's horrible when you're traveling around on, you know, the subway, or you're traveling around walking everywhere and you're really sweaty and disgusting. So prepare for those kind of quick weather changes that can happen in Korea. The next one is a bit of an interesting one, I suppose. It's unwanted advice. Now, in Korea, whether it be from merchants or people, it seems that especially people that are older than you have the assumption that they're more experienced and wiser, therefore they know better than you. So you'll often get told, do this, do that, this is better, you should change this. People will share their opinions very, very openly with you. And true story actually, my wife, so speaks Korean, is Korean, we were looking for some clothing, and we had a lady when we walked up to a store telling us, oh, you should buy this one's fashion, this one's good. My wife was like, oh, we're just looking at the moment. She stood there and then tried to pester us again, which finally then my wife said, hi, look, do you have any, I think we were looking for jackets at the time, maybe it was jackets or jumpers. And the lady's like, oh, come here, took us over and then said, look at this shirt is really good, this is a great shirt. I'm like, no, we're after jackets, we just asked you. And it's like, oh, but this one is fashion, this will look good on you. That's not what we're asking. Like, you know, we're asking for a product and you're pushing this. It's the same with sizes. Someone might tell you, no, this size will look better. It's like, it's not for me, it's for someone else. Or I prefer more baggier clothing instead of tight hugging clothing. So yeah, it's that expect to get some advice that you don't necessarily want nor need. For some reason in Korea, towels are really small. Now, I can't guarantee whether or not at your accommodation you're going to get normal size full towels or the Korean size towels. They're larger than a hand towel, but that's it. That's like the size of it. They're not that big. Although they do a really great job actually drying than your average beach towel, some people prefer to, like, you know, after a shower, wrap their whole body in a towel or walk around in one. So, although it takes up a bit of space in your luggage, I highly recommend, as I said, I can't guarantee there'll be full-size towels where you stay. I recommend if you like your towels, bring a towel with you to Korea. Okay, so the next one is a little bit of a touchy subject here, but Korea is, I'm not going to say mostly, but you will experience a fair bit of xenophobia. Whether or not the people are uncomfortable or they actually are racist or they just are completely inexperienced and don't know what to do or embarrassed, you will experience a certain degree of xenophobia, whether it be people telling you no service here or we don't want these customers or just straight up ignoring you or avoiding you. You will experience that kind of xenophobia here in Korea, and like I said, some people might literally turn their face in disgust at you. Other people might be just embarrassed and shy, like, oh, I should know, and they think, I should be able to speak English, but I can't. Oh, I'm so sorry. Like, it's weird. So something that you just tend to, if you get easily upset about different degrees of xenophobia, you probably shouldn't visit, just because you will experience. I'm going to say I guarantee you will experience some degree of xenophobia in Korea. So you have to be able to look past it. The final one here that I've got is cultural change. Now, yes, everyone can say, oh, it's a different country, of course you're going to experience different things. I don't really want to stress the point of a country being different as such as your own country not being, like, you know, the greatest thing on earth. So a big issue that I tend to experience with whether it be someone visiting or things that I've seen on, like, complaints on blogs or Facebook, is the way that people complain by comparison to their own country. Now, if you travel to another country, of course it's not your country, it's going to be different. But, I mean, straight up, probably 3 things I could think off the top of my head right now in Australia. Public transport. Terrible. Terrible public transport system. The shops are closing at, like, really early times. Really, like, you know, can't find anything open after a certain amount of time. Internet speeds. Horrible internet speeds. Now, all those three things here in Korea, I could completely rate and say it's the greatest experience I've ever had. Now, that's the positive way to look at things, is to see that, like, yes, there might be certain things in my country that are so much better, or things that I appreciate, but there are things in this country that equally balance that out. So it's best not to complain when you pick at little bits and pieces of things that, oh, that's not going to be the same. You went to a different country. Why did you come here if you were going to be, oh, it's not the same as my country? Why did you pay to come here? You know? So it's the same as traveling to like a third world country as well. When you see certain things happening in a third world country that you shouldn't interfere with, and all you can do is kind of sit there and go like, oh, it's a horrible situation, but it's not, I shouldn't be interfering with, I shouldn't, like, you know, try fix things while I'm here. It's not right. It's the same kind of thing when you visit a different country. You shouldn't start like thinking every little thing you see, oh, they should fix that, or oh, I do this. Just accept that's the country, that's the way it's working, that's why I'm here to visit, or why I'm here to stay, whatever your holidaying or accommodation terms may be. Accept the country for what it is, and you'll have a much more enjoyable time. So there are a couple things that I thought that I would recommend, tell you guys about, and hopefully, you know, if you're planning on coming to Korea, maybe they might open your eyes a little bit or prepare you a little bit more for your trip. I'm the Straya guy in Korea, and I don't have a clever sign-off.